in 1998 to open our business down there, and it's very similar to Toronto, and it's quick access back and forth. But what's always amazed me, and as mentioning it to the governor, that there's so many companies. I don't know of any state out of the 50 states that have more offices in both the state of Illinois and the province of Ontario, and that's what really attracted myself to Chicago. And I was telling the governor, next to Ontario, I'm the #1 promoter for Chicago in Ontario. Like, I should be on his tourism board, because I think the whole country knows I spent almost 20 years of my life down in Chicago, on the outskirts of Chicago. But you look at what we share, no matter if it's the ag sector or if it's life sciences, from Baxter to Abbott, just to name a few. There's a whole bunch of them there as well. They all have their headquarters here, and obviously, two big food states and provinces. No matter if you looked at Kraft Heinz, it just invested $1 billion in Ontario just the other day, and the list goes on and on and on. And I'm just so proud to be here with you, Governor, and signing MOU to have closer ties, to have more trade. The Canadian dollars, and you folks can do the math. At one time, I think we were par. When I was down there at one time, it was dollar for dollar, and now, but we're right at $500 billion Canadian. We're Illinois' #1 export destination, along with 17 other states, and we just share the same values. We share the same values, quality of life as well, and that's why I loved it. When I landed in Chicago, it was 1998, New Year's Eve, believe it or not. I'll never forget. I went there, and I was a little green at the time, young. I think I was 34, 35 years old. And Governor, I remember calling my dad. He founded a company, Deco Labels, and he said, "Son, Happy New Year's. When are you coming over?" And I said, "Well, Dad," and he comes obviously from a family business as well. I said, "Dad, I'm in Chicago." He says, "What are you doing in Chicago?" And I said, "I'm opening a U.S. division." And, it was very attractive. I remember Jeff Johnson, JJ. There's JJ right over there. He was the reason we came to Chicago. And I'll tell you, what an experience. Very business-friendly state. We ended up moving 4 times in less than 5 years to larger facilities. We're running 24/7 in about a few years, and the growth was absolutely huge. But it all comes down to the people here in Ontario and the people in Illinois. And I've traveled every square inch of Illinois, there and back and sideways, and every single company I have memorized. I'd be here for the next hour rattling them off. But I just want to, again, thank you, Governor. I can't wait to come and pay you a visit in Chicago, and maybe we'll catch a Blackhawks game. But again, thank you so much, and I appreciate our friendship, our partnership, and we look forward to a mutually rewarding relationship moving forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I very much appreciate your kind remarks about Illinois. I will say Chicago and Toronto have a lot in common, and we not only share a similar set of values between the two cities and, of course, between Ontario and Illinois, but also there is a tremendous amount of trade, as you pointed out. I mean, our foreign direct investment numbers between our state and Canada are tremendous. I also want to say you're a #1 trading partner. We want to make sure we're solidifying that in an MOU and looking for ways to expand that. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity. I'd be happy to take you to a Blackhawks game, show you what real hockey looks like.
I can't even argue that point.
And we are really grateful to have this kind of a relationship. So thank you. And I want to say a few words about the longstanding relationship between not just our nations, but our state and Ontario. today is really about bridging our past with our future. For generations, the people of Ontario and the people of Illinois have been connected in really so many ways, and we're connected geographically by the majestic power of our Great Lakes, which are so important. You know, we share this sort of 20% of the world's fresh water between us, and we sit on the shores of it in Chicago and focus on preserving it for our people as well as for the Canadian people. And we're committed to sustainability, which I know here in Ontario, that's a hugely important challenge that we all take. We're addressing climate change. We've each taken an active role in creating a green future for all of us, both economically and to preserve our way of life. And I think we've made massive investments in clean energy on both sides. I think that's something that Illinois has been later to come to than you, but we're fast catching up, and we are in need of assistance and partnership, and think that there's a huge opportunity from an industrial perspective to share that kind of technology. It'll help grow both of our economies. We're deeply connected from a trade perspective. Canada, of course, is a massive trading partner for the United States, and Illinois has been at the forefront of that relationship. Nearly 200 Illinois-based firms like McDonald's and Mondelez, and you mentioned Kraft Heinz and Flex and
McDonald's open, by the way.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, McDonald's. Well, just look at it. And I was at that McDonald's University in Chicago. It is. It's great.
Well, we share that in common, I could say, comfortably. But these are companies that operate here in Ontario, and of course there are 119 Ontario-based firms that are operating in Illinois. Companies like BMO and Magna and Brookfield all employ hardworking Illinoisans, and we're grateful for that, helping to contribute to our thriving business economy. And as each of our economies grows and evolves, we remain reliable partners to one another. Today, I think we're going to take a new step forward because there's so many new things for us to be working on together. Just to give an example, electric vehicles, something that, if you said this 5 or 10 years ago, might not have been the subject of conversation about our mutual economies, but it is now. And so too quantum computing and renewable energy and nanotechnology, life sciences you mentioned, very important. We have 3 of the top 10 medical centers in the United States in Illinois. And they, along with Baxter and Abbott and so many others, really are producing tremendous IP and life sciences. And I think that together with the expertise that I think we're sharing amongst our universities is creating economic growth for both sides. And we want to unleash that potential. Those are all industries that are just at the first innings of a long game that we're going to be in together. And lastly, I just want to talk about our cultural connections. The people of Illinois and the people of Ontario share a firmly common set of values. Collectively, we're a bunch of hardworking people. And we view ourselves in the center of our country as, the city of big shoulders, a state that, where you've got a lot of people who are dedicated to the proposition of caring for their families, but also caring for their communities, their neighbors. We're all collectively, as between Ontario and Illinois, gritty and resilient people. And we've proven that over lots of different crises and, eras. you can see our values reflected, our common values reflected really at every level of government and the private sector. And that's in part what makes doing business between the province and the state so seamless. It's just easy. We talk the same language. And I think being together in that endeavor makes us stronger than other regions, certainly of the world, if not of North America. But these are the bonds that we want to continue to foster, and the things that are contained within this MOU, the economic, the cultural ties, the future that we're going to build together for our people. So I just want to say thank you. I'm very proud to be here. I'm proud to work with you. I'm somebody who came out of both manufacturing and technology before I became governor. I was a business person. I view the opportunity ahead about protecting the people that I represent and building the economy that I think the people that I represent deserve, and I know you feel the same way and have a similar background, and so I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here with you today.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Governor. And we were chatting in the back. I remember our first trade mission when my brother Rob was mayor, and that turned out to be a very successful trade mission. But you know this as well as I do. We're only as good as our team, and I have 3 of my all-star ministers here, which I'll be bringing to Chicago. They don't know yet, but don't worry, we'll have a good time. Minister of Colleges and Universities, Jill Dunlop. Minister of Transportation, and by the way, Jill's instrumental in graduating 70,000 STEM graduates every single year, which is pretty impressive. And Minister Prab Sakaria, Minister of Transportation, huge into infrastructure. We're building the largest transit system in North America right now, expanding the subways, spending $28 billion on that, another $70 billion on building new highways and roads and bridges. There's one thing I can tell the folks here what we have in common, really, gridlock traffic. Believe me, I lived years going down to Chicago downtown on the Stevenson or I-90, and you try to go in the Don Valley parking lot or the Gardner, same situation. We're jammed. We built up around the highways, but we're expanding that. And the guy on the end, he's sharp as a tack, private sector guy, and he's Minister of Agriculture. And people don't realize Ontario ships out $19.6 billion a year. All throughout the U.S. on ag products. And I used to go into Chicago, Dominic's in Chicago, I don't know, Dominic's still there, and look at their tomatoes, mini tomatoes or mini cucumbers, and it would say, product of Ontario, Kingsville, Ontario, Masternardi's, and then I go in Florida and I see the same products. So again, we just have so much in common and a lot of great businesses, but we'll bring our cabinet down and Earl Provo, that a great representative as well. He's done an incredible job, and I want to thank you, Earl, for putting this together as well. So thank you, Council General. Great to see you too, and thank you.
Well, not to be outdone, I want to make sure you at least know that I brought, we don't call them ministers in my state, but at least the senior people in my state that are responsible for many of the things that you all are responsible for. But sitting in the front row in the center is Andy Minar, who's our Deputy Governor for Budget and Economy. Can you imagine having both of those in your portfolio? And directly behind him, the First Deputy, and they're together doing really amazing things to grow our economy in the state of Illinois. And we just passed our my sixth balanced budget, and the first 6 in quite a while in our state. Very proud of that, and with 9 credit upgrades and lots of other positive news. So I thank them for their work. And then sitting on the end of the second row, on the inside of the second row, is the director of our Department of Commerce in the state, and she too has been leading fabulously on our behalf. Next to her is the leader of our, what I would describe as the state's business development marketing arm called Intersect Illinois. And so this group, and Dan Seals behind also from Intersect, this is who I rely upon for much of the growth of our state and the stability of our economy and fiscal situation. So I just want you to know that although we should continue to exchange ministers, I guess, between our two states, the state and the province, I want you to know I won't ever fail to bring the best that we have to offer here to learn from what you've done.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I think we're going to be signing a MOU.
We are.
Next. There we go.